The source or headwaters of a river or stream is the furthest place in that river or stream from its estuary or confluence with another river, as measured along the course of the river. Definition: the United States Geological Survey states that a river's length may be considered to be the distance from the mouth to the most distant headwater, source, or from the mouth to the headwaters of the stream commonly identified as the source stem. As an example of the second definition above, the USGS at times considers the Missouri River as a tributary of the Mississippi River, but it also follows the first definition above in using the combined Missouri, Lower Mississippi length figure in lists of lengths of rivers around the world. Most rivers have numerous tributaries and change names. Often, it is customary to regard the longest tributary or stem as the source, regardless of what name that watercourse may carry on local maps and in local usage. This most common definition of a river source specifically uses the most distant point in the drainage basin from which water runs year-round, or, alternatively, as the furthest point from which water could possibly flow. The latter definition includes sometimes dry channels and removes any possible definitions that would have the river source move around from month to month depending on precipitation or groundwater levels. This definition, from geographer Andrew Johnston of the Smithsonian Institution, is also used by the National Geographic Society when pinpointing the source of rivers such as the Amazon or Nile. A definition given by the state of Montana agrees, stating that a river source is never a confluence but is in a location that is the farthest along water miles from where that river ends. Quote, under this definition, neither a lake nor a confluence of tributaries can be a true river source, though both often provide the starting point for the portion of a river carrying a single name. For example, National Geographic and virtually every other geographic authority and atlas define the source of the Nile River not as Lake Victoria's outlet, where the name Nile first appears, which would reduce the Nile's length by over 900 kilometers, but instead used the source of the largest river flowing into the lake, the Kagera River. Likewise, the source of the Amazon River has been determined this way, even though the river changes names numerous times along its course. When not listing river lengths, however, alternate definitions may be used. The Missouri River's source is named by some USGS and other federal and state agency sources, following Lewis and Clark's naming convention, as the confluence of the Madison and Jefferson Rivers, rather than the source of its longest tributary. This is contradicted by U.S. Army Corps of Engineers official on a USGS site who states the most common definition. Geographers generally follow the longest tributary to identify the source of rivers and streams. In the case of the Missouri River, Lewis and Clark would have had to travel to the east to reach the source. He states that the Missouri River source is well upstream from Lewis and Clark's confluence, following the Jefferson River to the Beaverhead River to Red Rock River, then Red Rock Creek to Hell Roaring Creek. Related usages. The verb rise can be used to express the general region of a river's source, and is often qualified with an adverbial expression of place. For example, the River Thames rises in Gloucestershire. The White Nile rises in the Great Lakes region of Central Africa. The word source, when applied to lakes rather than rivers or streams, refers to the lake's inflow.